Hey, it's Adrian and welcome to another episode. In this one we're going to be discussing a solution. I want to point you towards a video to have a watch of, which is all about common law and understanding how to put that to good use. And really it's just to help familiarize yourself with that. I think it's really important to do that at this stage, because when you understand that you are a sovereign human being and that you have so much more power than you realize, if you're not familiar with all this, and that you actually empower the other side of the game with your energy effectively, because they live on the dead side of things. Now, if you look at things like a corporation, corp means dead, oration means to speak. Things like a mortgage, if you have a mortgage on your property, mortgage is a death grip. It's a really interesting thing when you start to understand it. And once you understand how powerful you are, and that you understand they have certain rules that they have to abide by, once you know what to do and what to say and where you really stand in the overall scheme of things, all of a sudden it's a lot easier to not be concerned and not be frightened about that side, because you empower them. Now they employ all sorts of trickery, underhandedness and force, but once you understand who you are and where you stand, you can actually turn all that back on its head and put them really back in their place, because it's all about creating a balance of power. And we certainly have much more power than they do, because everything sits under us. It doesn't sit above us, which is the kind of inversion they've tried to get us to believe. So in the video, you're going to learn about finance. But again, it's all in really, really simple, straightforward terms, but it's really good. And I learned a few things, and I've been studying this for a long time now. Learn about finance, so things like bills of exchange, things like promissory notes, which are all your bank notes. They are simply promises to pay. In fact, they're pretty worthless because, well, in fact, they're not even paper anymore, so they're not even worth the plastic they're printed on. It'll get into dealing with the police. It'll get into lawful stuff. It'll get into legal stuff. Really, really fascinating the way they've done it. Lots of clips of people putting it to good use, how to speak to the police, what the police can and can't do. The kind of three basic precepts of common law and how everything else fits around that. What happens when you register your car, what happens when you register the birth of a child, which is a really interesting thing to do, because if you actually read the birth certificate, it says that such and such is now the legal charge. So it's basically giving your child away effectively. And you'll also learn the concepts of your straw man, which is a legal fiction, which is a made-up thing, which is created when you register the birth. It's all in capital letters. You'll see that on all your documents, like your passport, your driver's license, that kind of thing. I think probably documents that come from the mortgage company as well. So when you look at all that and you understand what that is, it's like a coat, and they try and put this coat around you and enjoin you to it, so you are now responsible for the debts of the straw man, and you're really not. You can take the coat off whenever you want. And again, once you understand the mechanisms of doing this, the game becomes much more interesting. So if you are interested in that subject, and I hope you are, because I think it's extremely important to understand who you really are. Now, the video itself is primarily concerned with people living in the UK, but I would suspect it applies to Commonwealth countries, and derivations of the application with regard to the specific laws and legal structures, the specific legal structures in each country would need to be taken into account, but the whole concept applies. So I'm going to leave you with that. It should pop off. I guess now I'm sat on a slightly different place, so it'll be over here this time to have a look at. And really wrap your head around it. And if you have more information, more links on it, share. I will put some extra links down in the description of this video as well, just to help you get started with some things and to get you thinking. And I hope it empowers you as much as it has been able to empower me over the last decade or two. You guys are amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.